Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 36 of the Tiny Disc Podcast, a show about games and life. I'm Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by the beautiful Jack Cepeda.
Guys, I'm in Texas, and the flies are way too big here, and it's not okay.
I'm so sorry for just all the eventual mosquito bites you're going to get.
Basically, I had to swat this massive fly, and it's like, you can't really qualify it as like I swatted it. It's more like I slayed it to the ground. That's how bad it was. How to Train Your Dragon in Texas. Okay.
Very nice. And we're also joined here by the incredible Collin Swarling.
What's up, everybody? I hope life is good on your end. Are you talking about like horse flies?
Dude, I don't know what it was, but it was not cool, and it would not leave me alone. And I haven't had to deal with a fly in the house either in years. Like, I can't think about the last time I had to kill a fly. But I had to like roll up the newspaper, right, and like take multiple swings at this thing.
Was it
like
bigger than your newspaper?
It was like the Floyd Mayweather of flies. It was really pissing me off. I could barely hit it. But I finally squared up, and I finally took it down, and then I like, you know, like what do? You pick it up, right, with the corner of the newspaper, and then you just kind of like stare at its body. And I like brought it over the sink, and I was like examining it under the light. I was like, is it dead? Is he just knocked out? Like, is he gonna come back?
Is he knocked out? Is he down for the count?
Dude, he was fucking huge. It was a fly that I could not let live and do this show. Like, it would be, you know, giving me some strife.
Now I need to know, like, bigger than a coin? What size coin?
It was like the size of like like my thumbnail, dude.
It's like a quarter.
It was uncomfortably big. Yeah, it was way too big. I've never seen a fly that big in a house before.
Yeesh.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I've had a horse fly in my house before when I lived back home.
Those sound big.
What was it? The size of a horse?
You've never seen a horse fly?
Could you ride it?
Dude, so
does it have a saddle?
Yeah. Does it come with a saddle, or do you have to saddle it up
could
yourself?
you imagine a fucking fly the size of a horse? Oh my god.
No,
that's like out of the movie The Fly. But yeah, oh god, that movie is still grotesque, by the way. No, like horse flies are like, I don't know how would I best compare them? Like the size of a good sized bumblebee.
Okay.
Like maybe even thicker than that. Like
this might have been that then. I don't know. It was uncomfortable. The cat was bothered by it. I was bothered by it. I was counting on the cat to kill it. It's like, come on, this is like your arena here.
This is why I feed you.
Yeah. You know, so whatever. It's down, and I flushed it.
Congrats.
And
that is why dogs are better. See,
yeah.
my dog would have hunted down that fly until that motherfucker was dead.
Oof.
Like ruthlessly.
Now, wolf indeed.
Jack, when you killed it, did you scrap it for its parts, a la Monster Hunter?
So I saved its wing, and then I just have to combine it with, like, you know, some bones and some teeth and stuff, and then I get a sword. That's how it works, right? That's what video games teach you.
What are you slaying where you have some bones and teeth just lying around?
I mean, like any loot-based game with crafting in it, like that's how it works. Like Far Cry comes to mind, actually, with like, how does this Gila monster skin turn into, you know, like a pouch for arrows? I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
MacGyver. So anyways, guys, I do not want to talk about this fly anymore.
Oh.
But I did something pretty incredible this last weekend, my wife and I. We happened upon this store that specializes in ergonomic furniture. But not only just that, you know, like footstools and desks and chairs and all this stuff. And you know, and lounge chairs, but they had the massage chairs, guys. And I mean like the $10,000 massage chairs. Ooh. Have you ever sat in one of those, like full body 0G?
Excuse me, $10,000?
Absolutely. I sat in a $10,000 massage chair this weekend.
That's insane.
Have you ever sat in a chair like that?
Probably not a $10,000 one.
Have you ever sat in the one where your arms go in and everything and the airbags like inflate?
Can't say
anything like that.
Can't. Nope.
Where like recline 0G. Okay. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you guys about this. Like your entire body is surrounded by like these airbags, and they sound like they're soft and cushy. No, it was actually so strong. I was like, oh, I was like straining. Like it was like pulling me and stretching me, like doing weird stuff. Meanwhile, these hot rollers are going up and down my back, and it is like squeezing my hand. Like it was like a real massage, man.
Huh.
And the whole time it's doing this, by the way, it's like tilting you back in this way they call 0G. It's basically placing your feet above your heart to like promote like better circulation or whatever. So when I got out of it, I was like, man, I feel so good. I felt like I got out of like some therapy session or something. I don't know, but I shit you not. When we got out of that, we looked at each other. We're like, we're gonna have one of these one day. Like, what? Yeah, like what? Like it's an FDA approved like treatment tool.
Holy crap!
You know, yeah, that's how legit these are. I'm not gonna get a $10,000 one, but on Amazon they have some that are a tenth the price that are comparable, maybe not as good. But if you guys have never done it, man. I can't recommend it enough.
So what? Just walk into a Bed Bath and Beyond. Just say, "Hey, can I see one of your $10,000 massage chairs? Just want to sit in it."
I don't know if they even would have those kind of things. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, it's a very niche market, like Brookstone. I don't know if you have a Brookstone around you in any of the malls.
Maybe
I might think maybe one of those would have one, but I can't believe I waited this long in my life to sit in one because it was a thing. Like, and they just let us sit there forever. Like, if we were at the mall, that would have cost a solid $20, $25 to get what we got for free.
just sit there.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. They set us up. Like, you have to take your shoes off. You have to take your jackets off. I should have taken my Apple Watch off. I didn't think to do it.
Oops.
But after, I was like, whoa, this might actually break my watch. That's how hard it was squeezing me.
Yikes! I mean, your Apple Watch is okay though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. But I will not lie. I was concerned. Some of them have like Bluetooth, like speakers in them. Like, near the head. Like, I don't know. They get really in depth. So but
you can just play some Enya while it's going on.
Okay, you know what I learned about Enya too? How do you guys know from the 90s the Fugees? Remember Killing Me Softly?
Yeah.
Okay, and remember like Ready or Not, Here I Come. Okay, so they had Wyclef Jean, they had Praz, and they had Lauryn Hill. They were the Fugees. And that first album came out, and I thought they were so awesome. I promise this is going to make sense why I'm bringing this up. And the song, like, I thought they were so original and so fresh and everything like that. Then I find out that the song Ready or Not, one of their biggest hits, was a ripoff of an Enya song.
Oh, shit.
And they did it on purpose. They knew it. And at the time, they're like, Praz was like, oh, well, she's like #1 in Scotland. No one in Scotland's going to listen to this song. Let's just rip it off. And then when Enya came in and sued them, they lied and said that they didn't steal it off her, even though they knew that they did. So they had to end up spending $3 million in a settlement to Enya.
Looks like
for plagiarism.
Looks like that $3 million just sailed away.
I hate you. And then Ready or Not, like their biggest hit. Like I'm pretty sure they won a Grammy for a couple of songs on their first album. Anyways, Ready or Not was plagiarized too. It's completely like a song from like the 60s. And I had no idea. So like all their shit is like, from other shit. I don't know. So it really sullied the Fuji name.
I don't know. People still like Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin ripped off a lot of shit.
Blatantly and then lied about it in court?
Yeah.
They did?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it was to that degree.
I don't think it was as blatant.
No, it wasn't. But they did rip off a lot of blues songs. Like there was points where they were literally just taking a blues song and electrifying it. Like
really?
Yeah. Like you can read up on it, but there was some pretty blatant stuff there.
Robert, help me out with the composer of Final Fantasy. Traditionally, what's his name? Sakaguchi?
Nobuo?
No, it's not Sakaguchi.
No.
Uematsu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, so I was listening to, I'm going to plug one of my favorite podcasts now. Retronauts is on the Podcast One network, and they're just really great X1-Up guys, US Gamer guys, and they do an awesome podcast based on old games. They did one just this last week featuring Final Fantasy VI, one of my favorite games of all time, and they were talking about how a lot of the tracks from that game were like plagiarized music too. And it's like, damn, like never meet your idols. You know what I mean? It's just like disappointing to hear like all this music you love, is just like a sample. Basically, it's like I'm living a lie.
Yeah, it seems like nothing's ever original now,
huh? It's sadness, but I'll tell you what is original.
What is original?
My love for you guys.
I don't think that's original. I think that's a plagiarized idea. I'm bringing you to court.
It's the Bro Love cast, guys. I just totally pulled that out straight. I just pulled that straight out of my nothing.
It's good to know that your love for us is coming straight from the bottom of your ass.
It's original. It's not plagiarized. Let's move on.
And with that, you guys want to talk about the thing we always talk about on this podcast besides our weird love for each other?
Should we talk about what we were talking about before we hit record?
No, I want to keep talking about $10,000 furniture.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, what else do you want to hear? I can talk about some $10,000 furniture, dude.
No, I will say at work, dude, in the corner of my workspace, there is a $12,000 couch.
Why?
Nice. Is it leather?
Listen, I'll have to show you a picture of when we're off air, but like this couch is like, you look at it and it's some like Tumblr aesthetic looking shit. This like the corner of the room where this couch is. It's like it's like basically a bunch of cushions. It looks like a bunch of cushions that's sitting on top of what do you call it, those things that come on like that forklifts pick up? Pallets?
Pallets, yeah.
Yes, it basically looks like a bunch of cushions sitting on pallets.
$12,000, please,
dude. I know, right? And I was like, it wasn't until last week that I actually finally sat on this couch for the first time. I was like, all right, I want to feel what $12,000 feels like.
Right.
All right.
You get curious at least.
Exactly. So I sat on this couch, I laid down on it, and is the perfect balance of cushiony and firm. Like it was insanely comfortable.
Was like the price tag on it? How do you know how much it costs?
My boss told me.
Okay, he's like,
yeah,
no,
she's
I spent
like
$12,000 on that.
She's like, yeah, so the school spent $12,000 on that. It's $12, and like $500 on that, $500 on that.
Meanwhile,
$500.
education is like $60,000 to go to.
I mean, that explains why.
That's where they're spending it. Yeah, we need these couches,
There's
guys.
the tuition.
Yeah.
We got to keep the pallet industry afloat.
One kid's tuition pays for one good couch.
Yeah, seriously.
But I love my job though, low key. So
did you guys hear? Okay, since we're talking about just crazy shit like in school now this is the most tangenty of tangents. You hear about the school in Oklahoma? I saw the article this morning that actually built a bulletproof shelter in the corner of every classroom.
What?
Seriously,
Really?
they built a bulletproof like shed. Like, you know the sheds you see out in front of Home Depot and stuff in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Right.
They built basically a bulletproof one of those like in the corner of every classroom.
So
the
just
kids
in
can hide in there.
In the corner of every classroom is just a shed.
Yeah. Yep. And it's bulletproof. And that's the solution, guys. We've done it. We've solved the evil.
Yeah, it's all fine now.
There's no more evil.
Nothing bad will ever happen.
I mean, that's one way to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, thanks Oklahoma for leading the charge.
I thought you were going to say
man.
thanks, Obama.
Thanks Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Every time.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, let's talk about video games.
All right, Jack, what have you been playing the past week?
So I'm somewhat alarmed at how smooth, buttery, silky smooth, the Final Fantasy 15 demo is on PC. It was jarring.
You downloaded all 150 gigabytes of that?
Was it? I didn't even notice it was how big it was. I just
my hard drive is so big, I didn't even notice the 150.
You guys make me sound like the biggest tool. I just hit download and I went to bed. I didn't look. I don't know.
I don't know if the demo is, but I know the full game is some 150
I'm pretty
gigs.
sure the demo is, and it's not transferable. Like, you can't like save your data and then pick up the full game, which I feel like is shitty. Anyway, so I'm playing it now and I'm like, oh fuck, it's in 21:9. This is awesome. The frame rate is rock solid. It made me realize how low the frame rate was on the PlayStation 4, just the regular one. I haven't played it on Pro. I'm sure it's better, but I'm having a good time with it. It's just like I said, I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, so that's a bit of a stretch for me. I thought I'd be cool with it, and now that I've played it and I kind of see how their layout is, I think I am going to move to a controller. I think that's the way it was designed originally. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I don't see that one being comfortable with mouse and keyboard, honestly.
I thought it'd be okay just because I played, many an MMO, and I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
it's going to be a controller game.
It doesn't control MMOE though. You don't like click to move.
That's true. That's true. And so, yeah, it looks great. It's got all the Nvidia stuff on it, like Nvidia Hairworks and all the soft shadow things that will just like drive your frame rate into the ground. And even with the GTX 1080 Ti, like I was getting some parts that were sub 60 frames a second, but the vast majority of it was hovering around the high 90s.
And this is with everything maxed out?
Yeah, but I did turn off Hairworks when it got to the main open world because the frame rate definitely was taking a dip there. It's not as solid as I want it to be. I want it to, if anything, just lock it at 60. Like, don't have me going to like 95 and then dipping down to 45 and then.
Oh, they don't give you the option to lock the frame rate?
I think there is the option, but I had, and it was weird too. Like, you can definitely tell there's just little things about it when you're going in the menus and just how the game controls. There's just little things about it. You're like, okay, they don't really know how to develop a game on PC. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like you just don't know how PC does things. Like, for instance, in the menus, they'll give you a list of things to select, and like you can't just take your mouse and click it. You have to like use the wheel.
What?
And then click the left click to select something, or you have to like move the mouse just up and down, and then it's like way too sensitive, and you have to like go back over things and try real softly to select like inventory or some shit. So it's just like it's obviously not designed for PC.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that Squeenix is exactly known for their PC optimization.
Yeah, I would keep hoping they're going to get better. I mean, there are good things about it. Like I said, they go in weird increments too, of like the frame rate. So this isn't one of the good things, but they go in 30 frames a second, or you can do 60, and then it goes all the way up to 120. There's no 100 at all. So I don't know. And I don't. As far as I could see, there wasn't any like VSync either. I don't know. I have to go back and look at it, but it was just like I played.
I'd be surprised if it didn't have any VSync. I feel like that's
I gotta look. Maybe they call it something different. How these games are, but yeah, I played it. It's good. It's definitely the best version of that game. It looks fantastic. It is that game. It's got more of it though. It's a complete version, right? It's got all the story elements, got all the patches. I got it on Green Man Gaming for $40, so no complaints there. Like it's totally worth it to me.
Yeah, because this
is guys. So I'm gonna leave for this chapter. This next chapter is gonna be DLC. Okay, bye.
Because I mean that's the like it has all of the updates now, right? You can play as all the 4 boys, right? It's like technically the most complete. It's different from when I played it almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, I waited. No, it's only been a year, hasn't it?
I mean, it came out November 2016, I think.
Okay. So it's the version to play, and I purposely like waited for them to actually finish the motherfucking game they've been spending 10 years on. Can you just finish it, please, so I can actually play it? So now I'm going to see the story as it is intended to be. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. It's very good. Now I know after running through the paces that, okay, this is going to be a controller thing.
Yeah, it just took 11 and a half years for it to get to this point.
There's going to be a lot of Final Fantasy 15 shit because they got to make their money back, man. And they spent like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on this.
I can't wait.
I think
like it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out on Switch in the next year or two.
Oh my!
They're gonna do the Skyrim
it's already
thing.
out on mobile and shit. Yeah, there definitely will be a Switch thing.
Yeah, I mean the mobile one is like chibi. Like it's not the full version of the game or anything.
Yeah. No. I get it.
I was looking at my PS4 shelf the other day. I realized I have technically 5 Final Fantasy games for PS4 alone.
Final Fantasy 10, 10-2.
Yeah, which is I count as 2.
Oh, okay. Then Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 15. Type 0.
Final Fantasy 14. Oh, Type 0.
I forgot about Type 0.
Type 0. World of Final Fantasy.
That's 6.
Yeah.
Dissidia Final Fantasy NT.
Yeah. You know what,
6.
man? I don't count those as Final Fantasies.
Bro, here's the struggle I have with Dissidia. I have a struggle with it because I know it's not a great game, but they get that nostalgia, man. There's fucking like there's just great characters in there. Yeah. From Final Fantasies of yore. And I'm just like, I want to play as Celeste from Final Fantasy 6, but I know it's not a good game.
I have a cabinet full of Cup Noodle DLC for that game right now.
Nice.
Where they put the code right on each noodle.
Yeah. I'm like, it has cloud on it. I'm going to hold on to it because gaming. Yeah.
They should put codes in like SpaghettiOs, like in the noodles.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking figure it out, bitches.
Yeah.
There's a code in here somewhere, we swear to God.
Alphabet soup, you have to spell out the code.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, there are 26 different chances in each can. Good luck.
So they should have like shredded wheat with like QR codes on the shredded wheat.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God.
That's evil. No, that's actually evil.
That's disgusting.
All right.
Since we're talking about demos here, I'm gonna take this as a chance to shill Yakuza some more because I love Yakuza. It doesn't get talked about enough.
That news though.
But so Yakuza 6. So what happened was they recently put the demo up for Yakuza 6, which comes out April 17th. They put it up on PSN. And turns out there was a group of people that found a workaround to unlock the full game through the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so people were essentially getting the game for free.
How do you do that?
Well,
I don't know.
You can't now because Sega took it off the
exactly.
Yeah, off the
PSN.
PSN.
They didn't patch it; they just took it off.
Yeah,
they took the demo down, and they said they're gonna try and see if they can fix it to put the demo back up in time before the game releases.
They fucking put the whole game in the demo.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know why they did it that way. I mean, at the same time, it is an open world game, so maybe it's easier to put the whole game out there and just lock part of it off.
Maybe,
right.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know the science behind that, but yeah, that really sucks though, because they're really trying hard to push that series and get it to make some money, and the fact that a few thousand people might have gotten the game for free only takes away from the fact that that game needs to make money to keep bringing games this side of the world. So
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how much it's gonna sell here in the West, especially since it was delayed, right? Because it was originally March 20 or something, and now it's April.
Yeah, April 17th, which is 3 days before God of War releases. Which, granted, they are they're not necessarily the same demographic, but it's that's a pretty colossal release to be putting a Yakuza game right before that. And I will say, since Yakuza 0 sold so well and people were pretty hyped for Kiwami, I definitely think that this game is going to have a little bit of hype behind it since 0 was so well rated.
Yeah.
So I think it'll sell at least decent, but I'm debating it since the whole putting it before God of War thing is a thing, I guess.
Colin, I might have asked you this before, but how is Yakuza 0 on the Pro on a 4K TV? How's it look? How's it perform?
Oh, it looks really nice. Yeah. I don't think it boosts the resolution. I don't know if it actually has a pro patch. But it definitely looks noticeably cleaner just because you're running it on a 4K TV. Like I said, I just don't know if it's running at a higher resolution. And Yakuza Kiwami looks good as well. But yeah.
That's good to hear.
Awesome. That's one of the games. Yakuza 0 is one of the games I really, really want just a day off to play. A whole day,
you said
man.
You started it a little bit, right?
I know, and then I moved, and it's just falling on the wayside. But it's in the back of my head, fuck, it would look good on this TV, I bet. So
yeah.
I really want to.
And that game is just it's so much fun. It's ridiculous, over the top
so
fun.
Stupid.
It's so stupid, but it's one of those games where it's so stupid, but then you play the story, I'm like, oh my god, the story's really good. Why is the story so good?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely have warmed to it over the last couple months for sure.
Yeah, I still got to beat Kiwami before I play 6. Hell, I don't know. It's there's so many games in that series I want to play.
It's only going to get worse.
Yeah. Jack, do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about, or are you good?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm not looking at anything. Did I say?
Well, yeah, you did
broke
mention
the fourth wall, Jack. Way to go.
Yeah, you played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh, I meant to, but I haven't yet. So I did crack, though, and I did buy that game where I was really kind of under protest, right, last year. But the thing that made me want to play Assassin's Creed Origin was not the game, really. It's that patch that they released recently. Do you guys hear about this?
Where you can tour Egypt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, yeah. I am surprised as anyone that actually is interesting to me. But a virtual tour of historical Egypt and the pyramids.
Dude, I'm so into that.
Dude, that's sick. That's real world, that's an interactive travel show in a way. And I'm just man, how is this not more of a thing? Because that really excited. That's what excited me. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll buy this game for that.
Is that game cheap yet?
Listen to this. I did want to talk about this. So Uplay, right? Ubisoft's platform. So they had a special going on for the gold version of some of their franchises. And so I'm like, well, let's look what they have here. Let's see if Assassin's Creed Origin gold version is on sale. So if you don't know, the gold version of Origins, they're all a little bit different, but they usually include the entire season pass, basically everything they're going to release for it, and it's usually for $99 instead of $59. So $40 premium, but you get everything over the next year or whatever. So if you're planning on playing a game hard, it's a value. So they're we're giving away the gold version of all these games for the regular price for $59.99. And I'm like, okay, let me look here. And they even say when you click the sale, search by genre. So I go to Assassin's Creed, fucking nothing. It's just I think Assassin's Creed Syndicate is all they had, and they had Ghost Recon, they had Far Cry, they had other games, other genres, and no Assassin's Creed Origin. I was like, shit. Oh well, I'll just wait till it goes on sale for $30 or whatever. But then I go. So not to the sale page, but I just go and I search the store for Assassin's Creed Origin. Sure as shit, their regular version is $59.99. And the elite version or the silver version or whatever, just the regular version is $59.99. and then whatever the next tier up is. I can't remember the premium version. I can't remember what it's called. The terminology.
Yeah, deluxe I know
deluxe something like that, but that was $79.99. Okay. There was no indication of nothing. And then I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. Like, is the gold version still $99, $99.99? Click it. Motherfucker, that shit was on sale. And it was hidden as fuck. And it was $59.99. And I was like, let's do this. And I like Google searched it and everything. And I have the feeling it might have been a mistake or something like that. Because there was no, like with a Google search and everything, you could not find it. Unless you had to go in the store, you had to not go to the sale, you had to go to the actual product page, and then even there it was hidden. You had to physically click the gold version to see the discount.
That's so weird.
And that's why I think it was a mistake.
But you got it.
Fuck it, yeah.
But you got it.
I bought the shit of it. So for me, yeah, full price. Like, I don't. I was waiting for it to be $30, but to get everything, like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like that. The gold version of games typically don't go on super sale until like 4 or 5 years later, right? Even on Steam.
Dude, speaking of that stuff, right? Like, so how they're doing for the NBA 2K series? They're doing like the 2K like Legendary Edition, and they're like $120, $150 or something.
I keep hearing those
like
are
that.
definitely more like ill-intentioned, especially 2K.
Oh yeah, because
those,
it's like what it is like, oh yeah, you get some in-game jerseys and some in-game currency and something or other, whatever.
Right.
Some DLC. It's all DLC for the most part.
Right.
And I was at Target the other day, and it was the Legendary Edition of 2K17, and it was like they had it on clearance for like $25.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit, dude.
I'm like, dude, I feel so like because there's the people out there that are like, oh yeah, I mean, I buy 2K every year, just gonna buy this $120 edition.
I know. Was it open?
Then,
was like the codes redeemable?
I as far as I knew, it looked like it was brand spanking new.
That's the thing, dude. That is like kind of like a life hack there. I have seen some crazy steals in Target clearance, like what do you call them, end caps.
Yeah,
like
it's so hit or miss though, because it's like, okay,
totally.
It's crazy that this is on this clearance shelf, and then you take it up to the counter, and they're like, oh yeah, that'd be $59.99.
It's absolutely, your mileage may vary. Like that's where I got Dark Souls though, brand new, $7.99, bro.
Yo,
on PS3.
Hell yeah,
that's not bad.
No, so so I forgot, but yeah, I did buy that game. I've got some crazy deals, and then I got Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition for $10 off too. So I was like, hey,
that's not bad.
Hey.
I kind of want to talk about some games I've been playing. It's kind of quick. So I've been playing more of Bayonetta 2. I did beat the game, which it ends very well. I enjoyed.
Is it wait? So like we know we're getting Bayonetta 3. Does it end on like a sequel bait kind of ending?
Not really. But Bayonetta 1 didn't end on a sequel bait either.
No, it didn't.
It just kind of came in. Like Bayonetta 2 just added like here's another dimension of shit happening. Right.
Well, yeah, because no one ever thought Bayonetta 2 was going to exist.
And no one thought Bayonetta 3 was going to exist until Reggie Fils-Aimé walked into the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's testicles in hand, saying, hey, I'm about to drop a really good trailer and you're going to sit down, shut the fuck up and watch it.
I'm about to drop your nuts.
Reggie's like, yeah, you think we only came here to show some like whatever bullshit?
Yeah.
Whatever,
who gives a
motherfucker.
shit about Bayonetta 1 and 2? Fuck it.
Yeah, I actually forgot, Collin, until you brought that up, that Bayonetta 3 was a thing, and I just I was reminded, I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. So it's been fun playing that, but I have a very important development that I didn't say last week, and I really should have, but I didn't. And I'm about to correct everything that is wrong. That this has been plaguing me for the past week, guys.
Oh no!
You don't understand. It's been weighing me down.
Robert, I just see Robert waking up in a cold sweat.
I didn't say this thing about Bayonetta 2. I forgot to say it. Okay, so as you know, I've licked every Switch cartridge I own. Don't give me that look, Jack.
Why?
For science.
Why is this necessary? You're not even a science major.
And?
All right.
So it's consistency. That's all it is. So here's the thing. I actually forgot to lick Bayonetta 2's cart the second I pulled it out. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this is what keeps this man up at night.
No, hold on. It gets better. So, I was like so excited to play it. I was like, damn, just slap it into my Switch, put it on that dock, and let's play it on the TV. And you know how like the dock kind of heats up the Switch a lot? Okay, so then midway through like gaming, I was like, oh shoot, I didn't lick it. So I put the Switch in sleep mode, pulled it out, and then
this motherfucker stopped gaming for this.
I had to lick the Switch cart when it was warm, and let me tell you, it does not help the flavor. It's a very bitter sweet flavor when it's cooked.
This is gonna be like is this a new like porn fetish that's gonna start or something?
This
There's
is
gonna
a
be a
weird
category
thing.
for this
Absolutely.
on Pornhub. Licking cartridges.
Robert, this is not okay.
Look, I'm just saying, if you've ever had a really long session gaming on your Switch on the TV, just lick the card after that. It's a different feeling. It's transcendental.
You're just full of great suggestions.
I'm gonna go to Robert's house one day. I'm gonna look under his bed, and he's just gonna have a bulk bag, maybe even a box of just like cartridges, like that just have random labels on them. Just he like somehow from Nintendo ordered a bulk bag of random Switch cartridges.
Yep.
And he just sits in his bed at night, like he wakes up in a cold sweat, and he's like, I gotta lick cartridge. Like it's like his drug, man. He just starts like
I actually lay one right on my tongue right before I go to sleep.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's like a host, like a Catholic church or something.
I can't go to sleep without a cartridge under my tongue.
Exactly.
Oh man.
No, so just letting you know, like that's a thing. And I did buy like another Switch game. I did like that card as well. Same. You know, it's exactly as you'd expect. I do
this
think
is just more. You're just more like pushing like go to digital now.
Yeah, basically that's true. I have been thinking about buying more digital, but also I need a bigger SD card for that, so I might have to stick with licking every cart I buy still.
Wow.
So move over, Tide Pods.
Yeah, move over, Tide Pods. It's Switch cart year.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Okay, so I've been playing another game though that came out actually yesterday on mobile. I'm going to talk about a phone game. Tekken. There's a Tekken mobile fighting game out there now. Straight from Bandai Namco Europe.
Is there 4 attack buttons, like 2, like left, right, left, right?
Nope. So you hold it horizontally, right? So if you tap the left half of the screen, so it's basically each half, right? So for the left half, if you swipe back, you backstep. If you swipe forward, you forward step. And then if you hold it down, you block. That's about it. And then on
do you attack?
The right side, you tap it. And if you tap it 3 times in a row, you do a combo. And if you're far away, you do like a different kind of combo that lunges you forward.
Oh, this sounds like a lot of garbage. Is it good?
It's all right. I mean, it's not bad for like, well, I'm taking a shit right now and I've got like a minute. So pop it out, right?
I did play Street Fighter 4 on mobile.
I didn't know they had
great.
that. No?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I was doing Hadoukens and shit. So.
Well, yeah, the thing though with the Tekken game, right, is that I really didn't know how to feel when I saw loot boxes in my Tekken game, because there are loot boxes in this, and the way they do it is you have a chance of rolling a fragment of a character, so you have to roll 10 fragments of a character to unlock them as like one of your playable characters in your rotation. And then each character has like a bunch of different special abilities that you also need to roll in loot crates to activate them, and they're kind of like, it's like a deck system, kind of like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And you just activate them in the middle of battle when they're off cooldown. It's real weird. It's real
Sounds
weird.
real shitty, and I'm sure they don't post the odds like they have to in China now. And I don't know if you guys heard, but the U.S. Senate now is like looking into this as an issue. And they're basically like, I can't remember the senator, but she wrote a letter to the ESRB and said, you need to look into this. And if you don't look into it, we might have to pass legislation, which is crazy.
And the ESRB did respond to that, but more about that later on in the show. Collin, what have you been playing?
So I finally got tired of you and all these other people breathing down my neck, and I finally broke down a button Nier Automata.
You know, you don't have to be friends with us if you don't want to, Collin.
Man, I mean, we're just trying to get you to play great games. I mean, good Lord.
Trying to get me to spend money is what you're doing.
So, how far are you?
So I'm about 10, 12 hours in.
Ooh.
Okay. And oh my God, this game is good. Okay, this game's really good.
It's pretty good.
I'll admit it. It's pretty fucking good. Here's what I'm gonna say. This give me some like Kingdom Hearts 2 vibes. All right, like this is gameplay wise. And I'm not saying that it plays like Kingdom Hearts 2. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like it feels similar in that you start like unlocking more chips and gaining new abilities, right? In your character, you build up your character, and eventually 2B turns into a fucking flying wizard of death.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. Like I'm like now I'm to the point where I'm throwing my fucking sword around, casting shockwaves everywhere, like spinning a sword around me. Like I love that. I love it.
Yeah,
Combat's
and like.
cool.
Like one of my favorite endgame builds was basically like every time you hit something you regain health, every time you kill something you regain health, just so you never die.
The game gets very easy. But it's
that's
good.
what it seems like. It seems like the game just gets progressively easy, and like the enemies do seem to like kind of begin to catch up with you, right? They throw higher level enemies at you, bigger enemies, more armored enemies, which is cool. Like I enjoy the challenge. And the game just does everything right gameplay wise to give you all the cues you need to play like a fast paced game. Like it's the small things. Like every time an enemy attacks, it gives you that little audio cue, that shing. You know what I mean?
And then there's a little bit of like a red flash on them.
Right, exactly. And so you know when to dodge. And by the way, that dodge is crazy. Like it's so OP.
Oh yeah.
And the game is just so much fun to play. And the world is very well, like the way it's interconnected, it was kind of like reminiscent of Dark Souls to me, because like you can see the rest of the world from everywhere else in the world, and you can basically you end up going to those places.
It's pretty cool how they lay it out. It's kind of like nonsensical though, the way the world is laid out. It doesn't make any sense. So like there's just an amusement park with like a fireworks show going on like in perpetuity next to this like overgrown castle. Yeah, but
if you take a right, there's a desert.
And then there's a city. It's just you got to suspend a lot of disbelief. But it's still also dude. Tell me about the music.
Oh my god! Like throw everything else out the door for a second and just the music. Like we ended up giving the tiny to this game, right, for the music.
Yeah.
It's completely justified. Like we can 100% back it now. I'm like every single one of these tracks is a fucking banger.
It is, dude. Have you heard this this cannot continue? Have you heard that song yet?
I mean, I couldn't tell you which one that is.
You'll know.
You probably did. Did you find? How spoilers can we get?
Nah, I don't get too spoiler yet. If you don't know yet, you will.
Okay,
it's a really prominent area.
The farthest I've been is I'm in the I fought the Goliath that appears in the middle of the city ruins.
Okay, so
that blows up, destroys the crater, and then I'm past that. Like I'm pretty past that now. Oh, I'm in the Forest Kingdom. That's where I am.
Okay, you're getting close to the end of the first route.
Oh damn! Really?
Yeah,
that was quick.
Yeah, the first route, but you got a ways to go.
Yeah,
if you get the true ending.
There are basically 3. You have to beat the game 3 times essentially.
Well, right. I was aware of that, but I thought it was going to be a little bit longer than that to even get through the first run through.
It's about 30 hours ish total.
Yeah. Okay, after all the run throughs, that's not bad.
Yeah. So I am near the end of the second playthrough. And I need to just pick it up. Right, I just need the time, the hours, and the minutes, but. I love that game. I'm so glad to hear you're into it. Are you playing on PS4?
Yeah, PS4. I'm playing on normal. Hard was a little bit too tough for me, at least for the bullet hell shooter parts. Just because like my reaction time just isn't good. Just straight up, full disclosure. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna flip it to normal for now. That sounds good.
Yeah. The game is. I mean, the combat is cool and all, but it is easy. It's like too easy to like really like dive into a la like Bayonetta, right?
Right.
So really what I'm saying is like I play the game for the story and I play it for the music and just the experience and the art, not necessarily to like be challenged in battle.
Right. And I will say like the music is great, the gameplay is fun. I like the character designs and the designs of the enemies. What I will say though is like I don't know if this is a problem on PC, but the game just it's kind of doesn't run that well on PS4. Like,
yeah. It has optimization issues. It's low budget. Can you tell? It's a low budget game.
Like the graphics aren't the greatest thing in the world, and it's not that graphics bother me, but the texture pop-in is terrible on PS4.
Yeah, on PC,
awful.
I had to install like a specific like mod to help optimize the frame rate of the PC version. After that, it worked pretty well, but like I'd rather it work straight out of the box.
Okay. I also heard that when the PC version was released, it was locked at 900p. I don't know how true that is.
I remember kind of reading that, but I can't confirm it.
Yeah.
I'm playing it at 3440 by 1440, so.
Okay. Because I thought it pulled a Dark Souls, like how Dark Souls was locked at 720. Like you could set it to 1080p, but it would be locked at 720p.
Oh. Let me ask you this: have you played the original Nier or any of the Drakengard games on PS2?
So I really want to play the Drakengard games. I do own the original Nier, and I've played about, I think, 10 hours of it, give or take. And I enjoyed it. Like I liked what was going on in the game. I just never came back to it and beat it. It's super interesting though. It's like it's got a really unique vibe to it. It's definitely memorable.
It's more almost like the little bit I played of it, right? It's not so much like a direct sequel, even though this is just called Nier as well. It's more like how Eco is to Shadow of the Colossus.
So it's like like Nier Automata is like a spiritual sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bloodline there, but I mean, you can tell that Nier is more an RPG for sure, and Nier Automata is more a character action game.
Yeah, I think it isn't till like toward the end of Route B and like Route C that you kind of see the like, oh, there's Nier. Like there's the parts of Nier that became what Automata is.
Right.
In terms
I
of
noticed
story.
that the one character shows up, I don't even know what you call it, like the ghouly looking character with the weird smile. Like the little head that has like the white.
Oh, Emil?
Emil, yeah.
The greatest merchant in all of video game history.
Yeah, he was in the original Nier, or at least some form of it.
I love his song.
Yeah.
It's so great. It's so great. I'm glad to hear
I think
you're
so
enjoying
far
that
though,
game.
like the amusement park was the coolest part so far.
Maybe spoiler cast is incoming. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, if you two can beat it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like sticking with it right now. Like I'm pretty into it. Like the gameplay is really holding it down for me, and the story is really interesting. I really like the whole like WTF type story it's got going on, where like look, there's machines, and but they're actually more human than we thought, and like I like that whole moral Kanji thing that it's got going for it.
All I can say, like in the second playthrough, is that you think it's gonna be boring, but they keep it very interesting. They have ways.
I kind of disagree, but either way,
you thought it got too boring the second playthrough? I think it had enough variety to hold my interest.
I don't know. For me, it was a little boring, but I still stuck with it because Route 3 is like so worth it. Route C, the like third playthrough, is absolutely the best thing about the game.
All right, I want to play now.
It's like
way
better.
It sounds like it gets absolutely bonkers there. So
yeah, like it kind of puts what you've been doing in Route 1 and 2 into context to like the bigger picture the game's trying to give you.
Say no mas.
And you kill Dumbledore.
Damn
you kill Dumbledore.
You do, yeah. So, spoilers.
You kill Zen-Osama. Got it.
You guys want to talk about some news?
News. Yeah.
News. All right. So first up here, those guys who organize PAX or Reed Pop?
Okay.
They have acquired the Gamer Network, which includes US Gamer, Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, what is it? Business, gamesindustry.biz.
Crazy. Do you know? Oh, I was going to ask. Digital Foundry's part of that too?
Yep. And ModDB.
Wow. So they own all that now.
Yep. So the people who put on conventions about and adjacent to video games now also own some editorial sites about video games.
That's going to be a lot of free advertising.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything like inherently bad about that acquisition.
In normal journalism terms, there is definitely conflict of interest, but video game journalism is not necessarily, hard hitting, hit the streets.
Yeah, like I mean, this would be different if like the U.S. government owned the New York Times, right? But with video game journalism, there's a lot less like, oh, that conflict of interest is a bad thing. People don't really
it's more
care.
enthusiast press. Yeah.
Well, I mean, IGN, they own Humble Bundle now, though, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
They sell games now, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So that's kind of, I would say that's much more serious. But this is kind of cool, though. Like, it brought on information to me that I didn't know before. I didn't know all these companies owned all these websites.
Who knows
let
what
alone, Comic-Con buying, or the people that own Comic-Con buying all these journalism websites. That's crazy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
are you good?
Yeah, it's like, what are the circumstances, right? Like, I don't know. Like, were these websites going to go out of business if they didn't get bought? Is that why they were for sale?
Right.
Because
I don't even think
if
the
that's
story.
the case, If that's the case, then I would want them to continue in some way, shape, or form. Like, I love Digital Foundry. I use Digital Foundry's YouTube videos all the time to check shit out. Actually, I'm kind of envious of their job. That's a pretty cool job. And US Gamer, like, I just plugged their podcast, right? Retronauts. That's where they kind of came from. And so, you know, I'm somewhat on the periphery of the fandom of US Gamer, but
yeah, I mean,
I'd rather them stay if that's what they had to do to you know, stay above water.
Yeah, part of it too is that Gamer Network, they also put on like an event in England that's like their own convention called EGX. So I think part of it might just be like Reed Pop saw that and was like, oh hey, like the way they do that's kind of cool. What if we like work together?
What European Gamer Expo?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I think it'll be interesting, but also it'll be like whenever you go to those sites now and it's around PAX time and like every ad you see is like, have you gotten your tickets to PAX West yet? It's like, oh no, I'm good.
It's going to leave a sour taste in the mouth. And I always looked at GameIndustry.biz as kind of like just they're impartial. They always seem unbiased and they always seem to have good information. I don't know.
No, I actually, and I was just telling Robert this the other day, like I've been leaning a little bit harder and harder into GameIndustry.biz because they cover the more nitty gritty behind the scenes stuff that that IGN and Polygon and all of them don't really necessarily cover.
Exactly. It's more editorial stuff to me.
Right, exactly. Like stuff like we were just talking about the people that own PAX and Comic-Con, the people that do those events, like even knowing that information, IGN wouldn't cover that. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff I like to know about.
Yeah, for sure. I've got some news that's actually fresh, hot off the press here, guys. They've fully officially revealed Overwatch's new hero. Just fun fact. It's Bridget Lindholm, who is the daughter of Torbjorn, and is going to be a support.
It's official.
It's official.
Who wants to play support, man?
I know it was rumored. I know it was rumored, but hey, bro. Oh, you just remind me of something else. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I got to bring this up. I guess it's kind of news, right? But we're talking about Overwatch. And I just remembered. I totally forgot. Last night on the MacBook Pro that I got, I decided to download and try. I got into the Nvidia Now beta, GeForce Now. Are you guys familiar and privy with what this is?
Yeah, that's the thing that uses like cloud processing or whatever, right?
So I got into it and I am kind of shocked and amazed by it, honestly, because this is my experience. I got on Mac, and as we know, a lot of games are on Windows, a lot of games are not on Mac, Overwatch being one of them. Overwatch also being an FPS is pretty, relied on with quick reflexes and accurate aim and all that. Yeah. So I was like, well, this is going to be the test right here. So I'm on my 5G network, so a real rock solid internet connection, and I'm not that far from the modem either. So like ideal situation, but I'm playing on the MacBook. And I hit Overwatch. And keep in mind, the game is not installed on my system. And the graphics card is like in fucking Montana or some shit, right? That's rendering my game. Huh. And dude, it was really good. Was it perfect? No, but it was way better than I expected it to be. And it was just amazing to just hit the Overwatch button in that client and then within 60 seconds be in a game. For a game that's not installed on my PC or not installed on my laptop and the graphics card is across the country. I was amazed.
Were you Etherneted in at home? Like were you wired in or?
I was on the 5G network.
Huh.
But so I was close to my modem too.
You Wi-Fi-ing it?
Yeah, I was Wi-Fi-ing it, and I was really surprised. I mean, yes, there was I definitely could feel a little bit of mouse lag. It was not perfect. Plus, the MacBook Pro the keyboard is garbage for anything, and most especially gaming. So it was not ideal. But like during my lunch break at work, like just rock out any game I want to that I own that's not even installed on my laptop and have a decent experience. I was very, very surprised, and the graphics look good. The resolution was high, and I was like, wow. I was really wowed by it. I might spend money on that.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like how much better of a connect, or if it even be improved if you were wired in, if you jacked in, you know.
Right. It was kind of eye opening, honestly, to be able to play. I mean, we won, right? I was Lucio. I was playing as Tracer. Like I was, these are
fast characters.
Very fast characters, and I was holding my own, man. So I think I was playing again. I don't know if like it makes you play against other people playing GeForce Now or just put you in the regular queue. I have the feeling it just puts you in the regular queue.
Yeah.
But any game on Steam that you own and any game on Blizzard, on BlizzNet, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Fuck you, EA Origins.
So did they review her powers, like her gun or weapons?
Yeah,
There's a video out?
Yeah,
I need to see this.
There's an introduction video. I haven't even looked at it yet, but I'm looking at a list of all her powers, and I'm actually like super excited. Like I kind of really want to play her because she's so up my alley.
It's not out yet?
No, she's not out yet. It's just like she's probably going to be on the beta version. Why am I forgetting the name of it? The test server?
Yes.
Public test realm, PTR.
PTR.
So she's like a support tank, which is like perfect for me. Like she can kind of heal you, which also like if it heals you more than your health, it gives you armor like instead of health.
Oh,
which is pretty cool. She uses a melee weapon, so she uses like her like flail hammer thing, but she can also throw it at people, so it's long range. And then she can throw down a barrier, and when her barrier is thrown down, she can like charge with the barrier and charge into people.
So I can load up the PTR now and play this?
Maybe. Let's see.
Oh, shit.
I'll
say this, dude. Kaplan and Blizzard took an L, a big fat L, when they released Moira. I think Moira came and went, dude. I was hyped for her. Then in practice, I was like, she's way too squishy.
Yeah, she was a bit of a weak support. And actually, she might be live right now. Yeah, she's live right now.
Oh, shit.
So
like, wait, in PTR or like in the actual game?
In PTR.
Gotcha. I know what I'm doing after the show.
Man, I might, maybe. Man, that's exciting. So
I was kind of thinking this. Hear me out. Like as an idea for a character, I was speculating. I was like, because there were rumors of this new hero, right? Yeah. I was thinking like, what if someone had turrets like Symmetra, okay, but when she puts up the modules, or whatever, wherever they connect, it would form like almost like a spider web shield.
Oh, like a barrier.
Yeah, like a spider, but like in a and you could make it whatever shape you want to fill any void you wanted to. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool, but I feel like that'd take too long to set up, and then the payoff won't be worth it.
There would be challenges. I don't know. I just thought the concept was a neat idea.
I could see it being a good ultimate, maybe, because then it kind of is justified for how long it takes to set up. That makes sense?
Potentially, yeah. I don't know, but this is not that, I guess.
Yeah. Welcome to the Overwatch cast, by the way.
Hey.
In other news, so the developers at Metal Gear Survive, which famously does not include Kojima-san, have apparently hidden some messages that are basically holding a big old middle finger to Konami.
This is so great, man. This is so great.
It's so good. So basically at the beginning of the game, and I did mention this last week, where they hold up a list of like all the people who died or like MIA or whatever from the base being destroyed, and like your character's name is going to be on there. If you look at the first letter of each of the names, it spells out KJP forever. So Konami Productions Forever is what people suspect it.
Kojima.
Fuck yeah, not Konami. Kojima Productions.
Konami.
Konami. Oh yes, I'll praise Konami. And then there are two names on there: Bastard Yoda and Cunning Yuji, which are the directors and producers of Metal Gear Survive. Getting the codename Bastard and Cunning isn't exactly favorable, and they're both listed as AWOL.
Wow, man.
Wow. I that's so funny. That's hilarious though. Like Konami didn't catch that. They just kind of like they just put the game out there. Just it's there now. Like
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't care about the quality or whatever. Like clearly, I mean, did you see the cover? Even the cover of that game's dumb.
The cover's dumb. The microtransactions are some of the most grotesque microtransactions I've seen in a game since Battlefront 2.
It's really fucking like it's borderline predatory.
Yeah, $10 to save.
Yeah, $10 if you want an extra save, guys.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Hooray.
I wish you were joking.
What bothers me more about it than anything is like the Fox engine is kind of perfect. You know what I mean? It's so scalable. Like almost any system could run any game on the Fox engine. It runs super smoothly, and it was able to build a game as fun and dynamic as Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain.
Mm-hmm.
How do you fuck that up? How?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's just a shame to see. A Rhode Island representative has proposed a tax on violent M-rated video games. And the money raised by this tax would help pay for mental health and counseling resources in schools. Now, this bill isn't law or anything. It's just being proposed. They haven't even voted on it or anything.
Just on violent games?
Yeah, it'd be violent M-rated games.
Wait, violent M-rated games specifically, or M-rated games in general?
I believe it's violent ones.
Mind you, this is not being
it would be rated M, just all M rated.
All right, like I said, mind you, this would not be extended out to any other form of media. Like, what about like stickered explicit lyrics, albums? What about, like the next Katy Perry video that shows like a side boob or something? Like, what about, yeah. What about like rated R movies? What about Deadpool 2 coming out? Like, nope, this is just, we're going to slap an extra tax on video games. This is a state tax?
Yeah, it would be a 10% sales tax to the
Listen,
state.
I'm all for helping like mental health and all this, but I mean, we have to treat like, media the same. And just to say that just to single out violent video games is like, I don't know. It's a weird way to go.
I mean, it's the same argument that all of the NRA-backed Republicans have been pushing for years, that video games cause school shootings.
Yeah, and Marilyn Manson and Eminem and the hula hoops and the bowling balls. And
this whole violent media thing, and all three of us are communication majors, or were at least, and we heard it time and time again, like the research behind violent video games. It was constantly used as an example. We all read about the research constantly, and it's all of it is inconclusive at best. You know what I mean? And people just blindly look for a scapegoat in reaction to whatever tragedy happens in the media or across the country, and they're like, oh well, the person that committed this tragedy isn't responsible. It's because of the media that they used. Like, I mean, when Columbine happened, they blamed Mortal Kombat and fucking Marilyn Manson. Hell, yeah. I mean, this goes all the way back before even CDs, like, or buying music. In the 50s, they tried to pin people being gay on comic books.
Yeah,
the frogs are gay now. They're reading too many comics.
Yeah, the frogs are listening too much of that rock and roll music.
So I'm just like, why does this keep happening? Why does we have to keep revisiting this over and over and over again? And it's like, listen, man, like when I was 13, I was playing Doom. I was playing violent video games. Do I think that was right? No. Do I think that was cool at the time? Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought I was rebellious. I was like, oh man, I'm playing Doom and I'm only 13 years old. I'm such a rebel, man. I'm so rock. But
I'm
it's
so
like,
rock.
I don't think that we should make games games meant for adults to be harder to buy, or penalize people that want to buy them by making them pay more for just this, for that one genre. Like, the real issue here is, like, if you don't want kids to play them, then why are they playing them? How are they getting hold of them? They can't buy guns. They can't buy cigarettes. They can't buy alcohol. Why are they buying violent video games that are clearly rated and determined to not be suitable for anyone under 17?
And the thing is, too, it's not just for one genre, right? It's for all M-rated games.
Right. Exactly. That's what I meant. Like one pillar, right, of video games, or one segment. And listen, guys, I have a funny story. In the early 90s, okay, this is so fucking embarrassing, but I'm going to tell it anyways because it's pertinent to this conversation. I went to the mall in Georgia, Lawrenceville, Georgia, and it was $23, I remember, maybe even $24, which was like $100 back then. Anyways, I tried to buy the fucking Coolio album. The Coolio CD with Fantastic Voyage on it, right? And it had the sticker on it. The motherfucking guy in the CD store in the mall making $5 an hour would not let me buy the CD.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. What I'm saying is, like, I wasn't allowed. Like, why are these kids able to buy these games on their own or get them digitally or whatever? Like, why are people not paying attention to this? Why are people not paying attention to their kids? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
it blows my mind, dude. Like, the whole reason why the ESRB was put in place in the first place was so the government wouldn't have to get involved with regulating video games as a medium. And the fact that these parents are going out and buying these kids' video games blindly, I mean, so many parents are going out there and buying their kids GTA 5, not having no idea what kind of content is in that game, just because they know their friends play it.
There's nothing bad about that game. It's a game where you take your car to work, where you kill a bunch of people, and drive it back home and sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Rob banks and hold people at gunpoint and sucker punch people on the street.
I remember Jim Norton very specifically on the Opie and Anthony show back in the day. Again, this is going to date me more. But when he found out that you could get a prostitute in an alley, then do the prostitution thing, and then pay her the money, and then when she walks out, kill her and take the money back. His like voice like elevated. He was so excited. He wanted to go get the game now. And I don't know what that says about his character, but like that was the selling point for him. You know, he's a grown ass man.
Better virtual than real life.
No doubt. But what I'm saying is like, let's take a realistic step here. This is really the issue around violent video games is stemming around like industries like, you know, the NRA, etc., like trying to deflect attention.
Yeah.
And trying to, and using it as scapegoat. It's like, listen.
That's exactly it.
I don't think that video games should be regulated any differently than books, movies, TV, etc. Like keep it on the same plane. Like keep it on the same level. You know, like don't single out video games for whatever reason. I just really disagree with that as a principle.
And I mean it's like the discussion we had about the whole Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human controversy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Child
because
abuse.
if any of this content was in any other sort of medium, no one would have batted an eye.
Do they have stuff like that in like CBS, like CSI, right? On Thursday nights every week, like shit like that happens. You know?
And that's what I'm saying. Like I've even had, I think I might have said this on the show. I'm not entirely sure, but I did have a situation where I was at like a family gathering or whatever with some family and some family friends. And I like one of our family friends came up to me and she asked me because she knew I was like the video game guy, right? Like everyone that has even a little bit of technology knowledge knows how it goes going to a family gathering and being the one guy that knows a tidbit about technology, right? Everyone asks you a million questions.
Oh, can you fix my everything? Phone?
Right, like my internet won't work, or my computer won't work. I was like, "Have you tried turning it on?"
You like the Mario, right? Can you get my phone on Wi-Fi, please?
Yeah. Anyway, I could go on, but anyway, so she walks up to me and she's like, "Hey, so my kids, who, by the way, they're fairly young and must have been 10 years old, maybe even younger, I think. So my kids want to buy this game for their Xbox." Called I think it's like Grand Theft Auto something.
I vaguely remember you telling the story. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I have told it
and
before.
How old were the
but
kids?
Just to reiterate, I think 10, maybe breaking 10 years old, and so she's like, so I just wanted to ask you, like, so they want to buy this Grand Theft Auto 5 game or something. And like, do you think it would be like appropriate? Do you think it's something that like my kids should be playing? And I'm like,
read the sticker, lady.
I know. I'm like, well, I will say like the game is rated M. Like I told her like flat out, like here's like I gave her the the hard list of exactly what you can do in the game. Like obviously like you have a choice of what you do in the game, but like you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. Like
and
you
the
can kill
blood
people,
just
sucker punch
drained
people,
from her face.
like steal cars. Like you can do a bunch of illegal shit. And I'm saying like obviously like the game, it's a game. It's enjoyable for older people, but it's basically like I basically told her like it's a matter of whether you think your kids can handle it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Did you tell them about the torture scene that happens in GTA 5?
Oh, well, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, that's story mode. Like that's critical path stuff.
And here's the thing. Like I don't think. I mean, it depends how well you know your kids, and I don't think kids at that age should be playing GTA. But I'm saying if they're a little bit older, and you think that your kids are mature enough to be handling that sort of content, and they know damn well how to separate reality from fantasy, then I think it's okay. As long as you talk to your kid. I mean, it's just communication. Like talk to your kids. You know what I mean? Like talk to your kids about the games that they're playing. It's a chance for you to be more involved as a parent. And I know I'm getting preachy here, but it's a chance for you to get more involved as a parent and really discuss the content of these games with your kids.
And I
kind of am of the opinion that I've thought about this, and no, I don't want any kids, and no, I don't plan on having any. But I like a long time ago, I thought about like if I ever did have a kid, like how would I feel about the media they consume? And like my thought was always that maybe I'll be the cool parent and decide that they're allowed to be just one level up from wherever America thinks they should be. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
like
okay.
if they're like 7, they can play the games for 10-year-olds. If they're 10, they can play the games for 13-year-olds. If they're 13, they can play the games for 17-year-olds. You get what I'm saying?
If they're 14, can they smoke?
How old can you be to smoke here? 16?
18?
18?
18.
No. They
actually 20. You have to be 21 to buy tobacco in Columbus now. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a law.
But you
now.
can go to Walmart and get a fucking AR-15.
Actually, you can't anymore.
Wait, you at 18?
you can't get an AR-15 at Walmart anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a thing for a few years now.
Okay, so you can go to Cabela's.
Yeah,
get an AR-15 right
actually,
right across the street
Cabela's
from Walmart.
Actually, it's funny that you bring that up. As of today, February 28th, the only place you can buy AR-15s at a retail store is Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop.
You know, in the world or in the country?
In the nation, at least.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dick's just dropped it.
Yeah, today Dick's just said no.
Yeah, and now Dick's and Walmart are unwilling to sell guns, period, to people between the ages of 18 and 21.
Like, don't they
younger
legally
than
have
18,
to?
you can.
Don't they legally have to sell you a gun?
No, like, so that's what Dick said. They will no longer sell guns to anyone below the age of 21, essentially.
I mean,
Wow,
it's not like they legally have to sell the guns to whatever age. You know, it's like it's up to them.
can
I think people would argue with you on that. I think people would seriously argue
apparently
with you on
they can deny service. So
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that like you can't walk into a Burger King and just say you're legally obligated to sell me a gun. You know, like they can say no, we're not selling you a gun. Sure, it's because they don't bake guns, but I mean, in the same way that just because you have guns in inventory doesn't mean you have to sell it to everyone.
Listen, I'm not in that position. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm telling you there are people that would argue with you on that. Say every American should have a gun. More guns are better, man.
You should be born with guns.
Yeah, but anyway,
we're pretty off topic though, guys.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. But anyway, video games, violent video games. I coming from a kid who's been playing Mortal Kombat since they were 4. Like, listen, I know that's crazy, but my parents.
And look how well he turned out. Everybody.
Yeah, he fatalities
I
me
may
every
be
day.
a little off my rocker. I know that, but I mean, I at least turned out semi-okay. And my parents thought I could handle it. Like, and even as a kid, I could separate reality from fantasy. Like, I mean, I grew up. I mean, I watched all kinds of violent shit. I was watching fucking Pulp Fiction when I was 10 years old. Like, but it didn't faze me. Like, it just didn't bother me. But it's all about talking to your kids about this sort of thing. My parents like trusted me, and they made sure I understood reality from fantasy, and that's all I'm getting at. Just talk to your kids, man.
To get
about
back
what they're watching
to like the tax on it, I just don't think it's fair. You're essentially punishing everyone who wants to own an M-rated game, whether it's a well-adjusted human being who's over the age of 18 and is like, I would like to play a game where I kill hookers, to like maybe someone who does have a couple mental issues and can't, you know, tell the difference between reality and fiction, right? Like, you're punishing everyone when really not everyone should be punished for something that doesn't have a 100% scientific basis in, like, if you play an M-rated game, you're gonna shoot up a school.
The last thing I'm gonna say is facetiously, of course, is let's not pass any gun legislation. Let's talk about it being a mental health issue, and then let's cut all the funding for mental health programs in the country. Let's just do all those things in the same week. How about that?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about this tax is it's like, oh, well, but it's a 10% going to mental health and blah, blah, blah. But it's the principle, right? They're specifically calling out M-rated games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's obvious that they're going at this particular piece of media because they think it's a problem.
And it's not going to happen, right? They're just talking about it, right? It's not like
right. And I understand that. It's just the sentiment. It's just the sentiment that's bothersome.
Guys, come on. We all know that video games are the root of every problem in society. If we just didn't have video games, there would be absolutely no problems.
Right, because we didn't have wars before this century, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be eating these churro crisps if I didn't play, Resident Evil in 1996. So
yeah, exactly. It makes sense to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The butterfly effect, right?
Yeah, while we're on the topic of just changing what video games are labeled as, the ESRB today or yesterday has said that they are going to be adding they want publishers to add a label to the games that have in-game purchases that explicitly say on the box, this game has in-game purchases. Whether it's like cosmetic loot boxes to like boosters a la Shadow of War, Middle-earth Shadow of War.
Guys, when are they just going to do it? I feel like it's getting closer and closer to just being $79.99 across the board. Like, when are they just going to fucking start charging more for the games rather than finding these underhanded, fucked up ways of extracting as much money per game player as possible?
If you ask me, I think they'd rather push for microtransactions continuing to be a thing, because I'm willing to bet they make more than an extra $20 off the top from the people who do buy into microtransactions.
Exactly. I mean, you have Activision saying they're making what, $7 billion? Was that what it was on microtransactions or something? I don't remember the exact number. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, like there has been always talks like, oh, we haven't, compensated for inflation, since the beginning of the, the 7th generation of consoles, PS3, 360, Wii. We bumped it up to 60 then, and we haven't compensated since. But the thing is, I don't think, like we were getting at, the developers want to, because they're just making too much damn money.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I mean, how do I put this? The ESRB has also like started this initiative where they're focusing on the parents and like educating them, like, this is what a microtransaction is. Like, this is what it'll mean if your kid like plays a game that has microtransactions. This is how much it could cost you on your credit card, unless your kid for some reason has a credit card, which I doubt they do. And they're just very strongly like trying to put out this message of like how to control what your kid is like buying or not buying on any game that has microtransactions. So they're focusing a lot on, I guess, educating maybe parents who aren't gamers, right? Who like think,
which is good. Yeah,
who think, oh, I'll just buy my kid like NBA 2K18, $60. I'm done spending money on my kid for the next month. And
LeBron is $20 more.
Yeah, and then your kids, accidentally drops $100 on your credit card just to spend it on in-game currency.
Yeah,
because they're toxic with that in the 2K games now. And I think a lot of parents that have younger kids nowadays that are getting tons of quote unquote screen time, playing mobile games, right? You get a lot of parents nowadays that complain about how easy it is to buy things buy in-game currency in a mobile game via the Play Store. You hear those horror stories about kids dropping $1,000 on their parents' credit card.
Right, because it's all linked to your Play account.
That's exactly it. And the thing is, all consoles coming out nowadays do have parental controls, though.
Yeah.
And I think parents need to be more aware of those, because there are, those things where like it won't let you make purchases without putting in so and so password, or
but
without
literally when your 5-year-old can work their phone better than you can as a 40-year-old adult, like. They get ways around it. I was on the front lines of that. I was on the front lines of people calling in like, my son spent $400 on eggs for this fucking Easter video game, or some shit like that, and I had to refund them. I was on the front line receiving that. I was also on the front line of my kid's trying to download this game. It's called Slender: The Arrival. Maybe a 3-year-old shouldn't be playing that game. But
so unless you want to be spending hundreds of dollars on therapy the next few years.
I just can't believe how naive like parents have become, man. I really don't.
And I think the trouble too is just that they're like, parents aren't being educated on what video games are. Not that they should be, right? But it's like, it's tough when your kid wants to do this hobby that's so clearly expensive.
Right, and then parents just don't take any interest in it.
Yeah, and they don't wrap their head around the fact of how expensive it is. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's not that expensive anymore, guys. I mean, I know I'm taking a weird track here, but like, motherfucking 4-year-olds have fucking iPads now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a video game is just like a throwaway purchase to people anymore. Who fucking knows?
Well, that's the trouble, right? So you have that, $400-$500 entry fee of getting an iPad, let's say, right? And then on top of that, they can download any game they want on the App Store. And if you as a parent aren't aware that they're using your iTunes account freely, they can download any game that costs money. Like, for example, the dumbass Square Enix games are like $26 a pop. Or they can download like a PopCap game that also has like hundreds of dollars worth of microtransactions and just spend it all on that.
Right. And it just goes back to the idea of you just need to be conscious of what your kids are playing, dude. And like, a lot of parents' basis of knowledge in video games, is like, oh yeah, I played Mario as a kid, I played Space Invaders, or some basic, Pac-Man, what have you. Like, yeah, video games are harmless. Little do they know their kids, sitting there playing Doom and like bashing in faces, on demons and shit like that, or killing people in GTA. Like, they just don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're just not current. They're just not up to date.
Moral of the story. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're summing it up. Go ahead.
Moral of the story, and the last thing that I have to say about this period is stop reproducing America. Stop. We're already in idiocracy.
Yeah.
President Camacho 2020. Shit.
Yeah, just don't have kids.
Stop it.
Just stop.
They're dumb.
Yeah,
Your kids are dumb.
Your kids are going to be dumb, so
Your
don't even
kids
try.
are dumb. That's it.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's good to know. Yeah, my only worry too with this ESRB thing is that it's not focusing on people who aren't parents and have kids that can spend the money, but who are just like our age and like, you know, the kind of people who buy that one sports game a year and then spend hundreds of more dollars on microtransactions where they could have bought like literally any other game instead. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really look at those people.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, they're focusing on, you know, the older demographic who a lot of us are, like, you know, just because we're not the vocal minority, you know what I mean? But, like, they're focusing on the people that are for the most part responsible about, you know, when they buy games and understand that, you know, it's a hobby, you know, and we can handle our you know, our content, our violent content and other things like that, you know?
Well,
and they're focusing on us just because of an isolated incident, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the microtransactions thing, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Another piece of big news that came out today. So they unveiled the list of the March PS Plus games coming out, which, I mean, they're cool. For PS4, you get Bloodborne and the Ratchet and Clank remastered thing.
Hoo boy.
Yeah, and then PS3, you get Mighty Number 9. Get hype on that. And, you know, a couple other PS Vita games and stuff. But the big major news that came out with this March PlayStation Plus thing is that starting next March 2019, they are no longer giving you free PS3 and PS Vita games.
I am of the camp that I can't believe they're still doing it. I mean, we're talking about a system that is going to be in 2019 13 years old, you know, and the Vita at that point will be what, like 8 years old? Like,
it'll be
maybe even longer.
6 years old.
Yeah, okay, shorter. So it's like, come on, guys. And who the fuck plays Vita anymore besides me? I'm like literally the last person on earth that plays Vita. But yeah, I mean, hey, PS3, it was a good run, man. Hell of a run.
Yeah.
Like, you know, slow clap for you, you know, right off into the sunset, like, boo-hoo, you know. But let's move on. They're already moving on, clearly. So I'm surprised it lasted this long.
I mean, it's cool that they were doing it. And I already, I'm starting to see people are like, oh, like they're starting to not give people PS3 games and PS Vita games for PS Plus. Does this mean we're going to get PS5 soon?
It's 12 years old.
Stop.
Why?
And I'm
do
like,
we have,
no, we're not going to get fucking PS5 anytime soon.
Why do we
guys.
have cycles this long? It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why the PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360 generation was abnormally long was because of the recession.
Yeah, and also part of it too is kind of the same reason why like Microsoft Windows XP was around for as long as it was, kind of a thing. You know, they're always going to be those people who don't want to upgrade to the newest system.
And then Xbox like came out with a $500 console with a fucking Kinect. Good show.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand why they were still supporting PS3 and PS Vita. I can't think of the last time I gave a shit about whatever PS3 and PS Vita game was coming out with PS Plus, but I'm sure there were people out there who did, right? And there
Yakuza 5 was free 1 month. I mean,
yeah. And I'm sure there are people out there who will be canceling their PS Plus subscription come next year because, oh man, I don't get any more free PS3 games. You know, they don't own a PS4, right?
I am so ashamed. My when I moved here in August 2016, I brought my 360 and my PS3. They're still literally in the bubble wrap.
Nice.
I haven't unpacked them since 2016, so
they're useless.
They're not useless, but it's like, you know, come on. What are you gonna do?
I mean, hey, come on. I still play my PS3. Come on. There's some good games on there. PS3 games are cheap.
I've moved to a minimalist kind of attitude when it comes to my entertainment center. Now it's just the PS4 and the Wii and like my soundbar, and that's it. Oh wait, no, the Steam Link too. But that's
Switch.
It's I said Wii, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I'm like, well, no. I mean, I guess if you want to go real minimalist,
no. But the remote for the remote for the TV acts like a Wiimote, though. It's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last bit of news here. This is kind of exciting. It's still a rumor. Hasn't been 100% confirmed, but there are rumblings that Vanquish 2 will be a thing, and it will be an Xbox One exclusive.
You know, and this is getting a little bit more suspicious because there was tweets by the official Sega Japan Twitter account showing that they were going to a conference at Microsoft headquarters.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
I mean, it's all but confirmed.
Yeah, so I like there was rumbling, like people were speculating like, oh, Microsoft's gonna buy Sega. I'm like, bullshit. That ain't gonna happen. Sega won't let that happen. They're too huge. They're still making really good money on a lot of their IPs.
Yeah, like Sonic Forces was a big hit. Sonic Unleashed, man, that was a good one. That was a really good game.
Yakuza's gaining a lot of steam. I mean, Sonic Mania sold pretty, like, it didn't cost them next to anything because it was basically a published, like, fan-made game.
Yeah.
And they sold pretty well on that. And I mean, not Bayonetta, but like Vanquish, Vanquish came out on PC and was actually doing pretty good numbers. I mean, Sega's doing it,
Yeah, they're making games.
I mean, Vanquish, when it came out on PC, I thought it was going to be like this big hullabaloo, but it kind of came and went. I don't know. Maybe people got hyped for it. I didn't feel the hype, though.
I mean, it did sell a bit, for sure.
But they are thirsty, dude. Microsoft is thirsty for some exclusives.
Yeah,
so
dude. I mean, Phil Spencer's like pushing as hard as he can, man, but they're just not getting any developer ass behind their name.
Yeah, and maybe that's going to change here with Vanquish 2, which, I mean, that's kind of exciting. I never expected Vanquish to have a sequel.
We'll see. I mean, Platinum's got to be on it. It's got to be just like, I don't think I would be shocked if they pulled like another Bayonetta 2 with Vanquish. I would be surprised. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean that'd be crazy though, because I mean Sega has had a good relationship with Xbox in the past, based on how basically the original Xbox is basically Dreamcast 2, guys. I mean Shenmue 2 came out on there, Jet Set Radio,
Valkyrie, yeah, it's totally Crazy Taxi 3, yeah.
Oh yeah, Crazy Taxi 3. They didn't get Skies of Arcadia. GameCube got Skies of Arcadia Legends and Grandia 2, but
Yeah, I mean, if it is an Xbox One exclusive, it's probably also going to come on PC, right? Because of that Play Anywhere thing.
You would suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, either way, I'm not too worried about it. But that would be a cool get for Xbox. Like they need something. Because I don't want Xbox to fail. I want it to be competitive.
One thing they never talk about anymore, at least I don't hear about, are like console sales. I mean, I know that the Xbox One X did okay during the holidays, but I pretty much am sure that the Xbox right now is like kind of throwing in the towel, right? They're kind of like, all right, we fucking lost. Like it's not even close anymore. I mean, especially when the Switch came in, especially. So now now they're like in third place, like a distant third.
Right? But they're not doing bad financially, so to speak.
It's Microsoft,
though. They're not like, I mean, they may be in third place, but they're still selling a commendable amount of consoles. You know what I mean? It's not like they're gasping for air or anything like that. It's just that they're just not where they should be.
And who knows? They might pull a PS3, right? Like maybe this Vanquish 2
come up from
news,
behind.
if it's real, right? Maybe that's going to be the first of many of these like actually really cool looking Xbox One exclusives.
I really hope that Xbox comes out swinging this E3. Like I want to say like, and I know I talk about PlayStation, and I am a PlayStation fanboy. I will admit it, but I would love to say, like, I mean, I would partially kind of hate it because I am a PlayStation fanboy, but it would be awesome if we could say that Xbox won E3 this year.
No, I disagree. I want them to pay for their transgressions.
I mean, Don Matrick's gone, all right? Phil Spencer's trying to turn this ship around, and he's done a pretty decent job for what's there.
Sea of Thieves is going to be cool. I'm just joking, sort of.
I mean, I respect Phil Spencer, dude. I really do. I respect what he did with the company. I mean, Don Matrick left. He went to fucking Zynga and drove that thing into the ground. Nobody even knows what Zynga is anymore.
What's Zynga?
There was a Zynga building near my old apartment, and it went out of business.
Yeah, because Don Matrick drove that motherfucker into the ground.
Yeah, they took the sign down. It was unceremonious.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Do you think they didn't pay enough microtransactions to stay afloat?
They didn't sell enough Connects, man. I don't know.
Wait, Zynga?
I don't know. Can we just move on, please? Don't listen to what I'm saying.
I didn't realize.
Hey, don't you know Xbox is the new water cooler? Anyway.
I didn't realize Zynga made the new Connect. That's pretty good news, actually.
Maybe they should have.
Yeah, maybe the Connect 2. That was supposed to be.
Did someone say sports? TV? Sports? TV? Okay.
All right, let's get into the home stretch of this episode, and I'm going to throw it to Jack for the question of the week.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
Simple question. What are your top 3? I just want to know you men. I just want to know you guys. What are your top 3 favorite music genres? No particular order.
Oh,
Just
okay.
the top three of all time.
Jack, you know this is gonna kill me inside.
You opened a Pandora's fucking box with Collin. You know that, right? We're here for
dude.
Strap in, folks. There's another hour.
It doesn't have to be. I just need the top three.
Oh my god. All right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Robert. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to. You know, I'm gonna have to sit
right.
here for a minute.
Yeah, he has to call a lifeline here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it does kind of evolve. It kind of differs and fluctuates depending on like my mood, which kind of changes over the year. Like for example, around Christmas time, my number one is always Christmas music because I'm a bitch. But I guess in general, like alt rock / rock is pretty up there.
Like Tonic.
Yeah, like REM or.
If you could only see.
Okay, we don't have the license to that. We don't have the license.
And then like kind of harder rock, like into metal almost. I'm kind
Like
of into
Breaking
that.
Benjamin?
No. Like
What? Breaking Benjamin's awesome.
like Metallica, Iron Maiden kind of stuff. A bit of
like
J-rock.
metal.
Yeah, like I haven't, like the thing is I haven't been paying attention to the modern metal scene. I couldn't name that many current day metal bands. I can think of like Mastodon and that's it.
I could get you into something, but
Okay. So wait. So where are we now? How many genres are we at?
I think that was like 2 or 3.
Okay. So guitar stuff and drums and singing.
Yeah, drums is the main thing for me. I can occasionally jam to some pop, like K-pop especially. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I know. I'm kind of all over the place with my music, so
your top 3 are like metal, alt rock, and K-pop.
sure. I think it'd be easier though to just say what I don't listen to.
Okay. All right. Collin, how about you, man?
okay. So because we'd be here all night if I got into all the subgenres of metal that I like.
And then he's going to start talking about craft beer. No.
Oh,
My
God.
favorite genre of music is craft beer. Did you know that Weihenstephaner is one of the best German beers?
A lot of people think it's a blonde ale's the same as Hefeweizen, but Hefeweizen's much more malty on the notes and the fucking apricot and bullshit.
But you know what pairs really well with a good burger? A nice stout.
Yeah. No, it's a port. It's not a stout. Get it right.
That's a porter.
Fucking hell, mate. Anyway.
Okay, so your first favorite genre is beer.
If my beer, I mean,
Beer in your ear.
there is Illstorm, which is like a drinking / pirate metal band.
Oh, I thought Illstorm was like a genre of music. I'm like, what the fuck is Illstorm?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Is that like the sequel to Rude Sandstorm?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Illstorm. Darude Illstorm.
No, yeah. My favorite genre is just a rude sandstorm.
Oh, fair. I accept that. I accept that.
I'd listen to that every day.
Okay,
For
what
sure.
else?
No, okay. So I'm just gonna say metal, like just
Metal.
just total, because there's over 200 subgenres and growing in metal. And it's like if I sat here and told you every single one of them that I really liked, it would get crazy. I'll say metal / hardcore, because hardcore, people like to separate that from metal. But there, done. That one's in the books. Synthwave.
Oh, synthwave's good.
Yeah,
what about vaporwave, man?
Synthwave. I'm gonna lump those two together. I know they're not there. I know there's a lot of differences, but like kind of like that synth heavy electronica type stuff. But I'm gonna lump those together.
Like the Drive soundtrack.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, synthwave / and I'm gonna throw 80s pop in there because those are really similar too. Very saxophone synthwave, synth heavy stuff.
Basically Blade Runner.
Midnight City by M83 is what I always think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I love M83. I love FM84. Just all those people. Just give me more sexy saxophone. Like just fuck me with saxophone, please.
Kenny G.
Whoa,
You're looking for
whoa.
Kenny G.
Yeah, but it's got to have synths with it though too. It's a nice. It's got to meld. You know.
Do you guys
It's got to be
think
raining.
Do you think guys
Yes.
think Kenny G's fucked one of his saxophones before?
I'm going to go on a limb and say no, Robert. The fuck kind of question is that?
Why the fuck would you say such a crazy thing, Robert? How could you?
Have you looked at him though?
Now, I didn't say he doesn't make love to his saxophone. I didn't say that. Yes. Okay. Did you put out 3 genres?
No, that's 2. And then okay. Maybe
Disney soundtracks.
I do like Disney soundtracks. like Disney's video game soundtrack. That's good stuff.
Wait, can Phil Collins just be a genre?
No, I'm saying no.
Oh.
I mean, maybe rap. Like if we're doing like really vague genres here, like
Really?
Okay. And I'm talking like older rap. I really like 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that's got like, or like even obscure stuff like Death Grips. Death Grips is like the edgy. Like he's like hardcore melded with rap. It's ridiculous.
I'll say this about rap though. I'm kind of surprised that I'm still into like modern rap. I'm actually really surprised that I'm still into modern rap. And I thought I'd grow out of it. And I will say that we're kind of in a bit of a golden age right now of like
Are we though with trap music and mumble rap?
Listen. Let me finish. Of like politically aware, like civil awareness, like rap is coming out. Like Logic, like all kinds of artists are coming out now, man. If you just know where to look. So I will give it credit. Like rap has gotten much smarter over the last 4 or 5 years. Like, no, I'm not talking about trap and Migos and all that. Like that's its thing and it has its place. And I listen to that stuff sometimes when I'm feeling, like I want to listen to that. But also there's just like some real, like I Am Not a Racist. Have you guys heard that song? Holy shit.
No.
Okay, go listen to that song. Oh my gosh, that's a crazy song. But so I'll give it its due. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, my heart is always in the early 90s, but rap that's been coming out lately, there's some quality shit out there.
So you're not talking about the Fetty Waps of the world.
Are you gonna go?
I forgot about Fetty Wap. Man, it seems like the world kind of forgot about it, right? He had like the best song of like 2015, and now he's like gone. So, all right, guys. So you gave me 3. All right.
Yeah,
and
now you have
guess
to
what?
give us 6.
No, we're not going to do that because this is a 2-part question. 2-part question.
What?
So
nice
now the second part is now that you have revealed your top 3 genres.
I swear to God, you say artist, I'm gonna kill you.
No. Now, if you had to give one up for the rest of your life, never hear it, never listen to it, it's just gone from your experience as a human being on the planet Earth, which one would you have to pick? Which arm are you cutting off?
Rap. Bye, rap.
Probably metal.
Goodbye.
You wouldn't be fine getting rid of it, but that would be the one that'd be the easiest to let go.
I like, because here's the thing though, like, man, it's kind of a shame that you're throwing out metal, Robert, because honestly, no, but because listen though, because metal is the probably, and I'm not even trying to sound bigoted here, but metal is probably the most diverse genre there is because there's just so much shit. Like there's listen, and it's because that there's shit out there that's like what the fuck, this is metal? Yeah, it's metal. Like, you know what I mean? There's all kind, like I swear there is a metal band for everyone. There is something out there that can appeal to everyone.
Baby metal. I don't know if I give up baby metal.
I love baby metal, but can I just say there was a part of me that thought you were going to say metal is the craft beer of music.
Oh my fucking God.
I think that
you guys are making me sound like the biggest fucking beer snob there is in history. And I really do not know shit.
This is an
beer.
Irish red ale, actually. Not a brown ale, thank you.
So the thing with metal for me is, I guess, like the reason I wouldn't give it up over rock is that I think rock music is the one that kind of is the easiest to enjoy at all times, I think. Especially like if you go to a bar and they're like playing live music, like even if it's some shitty like, you know, one person guy with a guitar or like a small band no one's ever heard of, they're probably going to be playing rock music. You know what I mean? And it kind of like sets a vibe that's kind of good. And I'd rather have that feeling.
It's accessible.
Yeah, I'd rather have that feeling than like, oh, that bar's playing rock music, but I supernaturally can't hear it or something. You know what I mean?
Right. I understand that, and I definitely understand the appeal of rock in that, like, you know, the fact that you can go into a bar or whatever on a Friday night and they play Don't Stop Believin' or anything off of Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. Like, everyone's going to be able to sing along to that song and know it. But for me personally, it's like those songs, I've heard them so many times, and that type of music, for me personally, it just does not hold any substance to me anymore. Like, those songs don't mean anything to me anymore.
I'm thinking like modern rock too, or like indie rock even, you know?
Well, yeah. And I can appreciate that for sure. Because the thing with like a lot of modern rock, and I'm not saying indie, but like a lot of like rock, if you listen to, I don't know if any of you guys have ever listened to like Sirius Radio, like Sirius XM.
Nah, nope.
But like Sirius XM Octane is like the huge like hard rock radio, right? And if you go to like say Rock on the Range, right, and you listen to like the more in the up and coming bands, and it's like modern hard rock, they're all very formulaic and generic and very cookie cutter sounding. And that kills me. Like, you know what I mean? I need more to my music, and that's why I couldn't drop something like that.
Dude, why can't Edema just get back together? Give me more Edema. I miss Edema.
Before
wait, I didn't know they're not together.
Before we quickly wrap up, Jack, what are your top 3? And which one did you cut?
I don't know. All right, gangster rap from the 90s.
I don't know. Never mind. I know.
K-pop. And like like grunge, I think. Grunge and like post-grunge.
Okay, and which one would
you... that's because like when I say metal, I kind of like lump grunge in there.
No.
That's not fair.
Metal's not Nirvana. Metal is not.
Nah.
No. I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I wouldn't go as far as that, but it's in that weird in between rock and metal, though. I would say some of it is.
I'd say it leans way more into rock than it does metal.
I don't think the yeah yeahs are metal, bro.
Yeah,
but like I don't know, but Alice in Chains though.
I don't know if that's metal.
I'd say it's closer to hard rock than metal.
Yeah, it's got guitar solos, but that's about it. Anyways, why are we talking about this anymore?
I don't know. What would you cut off though?
Yeah,
it's
Here's the
hard,
thing.
isn't it?
For me, it's hard. Why was it so easy for you guys? Because for me, there's no way I could live without K-pop anymore. There's no way. I'm gonna listen to K-pop probably the rest of my life. And then gangster rap, there's no way either. Like I can't give that up. And I love grunge, but I guess it has to be grunge.
Rip.
That sucks.
Really?
Yeah, that sucks. I love grunge. I don't know. It was much harder for me. You guys were just so easy. Like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
But I can't give up the other two. There's no way.
Fair. That about does it for us for this week's episode of the Tiny Disc Podcast. If you enjoyed what we did, please consider leaving a iTunes review. That'd be really cool. It'd really help us out more than you know. If not, tell a friend. Call someone up right now, whether like preferably around 2 or 3 in the morning your time, and just let them know that, hey, there's this podcast I really like called I know you're trying to sleep, but come on, like listen to this podcast real quick for me. It's called the Tiny Disc Podcast, and then hang up on them.
I've come to really appreciate your suggestions here at the end of these shows. They entertain me on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's like in SpongeBob. It's like, who wakes up at 3 a.m. to eat a Krabby Patty? And it's like, and then somebody wakes up in the middle of the night. Oh boy, 3 a.m. They start listening to the Tiny Disc Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, concerns, or anything you want us to read live on this pre-recorded show, you can email them to us at tinydiscpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to find all of our social media links and or see all of our previous episodes, you can check them out at tinydisc.com. Where can we find you guys online on the internet?
You know me, Collin and Motto on Twitter, aka booboo__55, baby.
At JACCEPEDA, Mr. Cepeda, Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
Did you add the Wu-Tang at the end this time?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
keeping it profesh.
Man.
I'm just like saying Wu-Tang.
I prefer full tang.
Yeah.
On my swords. What the fuck's this Wu-Tang shit? Full tang, man. I gotta have my shit battle ready.
Motherfucking 36 chambers, dude. You God, Method Man, Red Man, Ghostface Killer, the RZA, the Jizza, Inspector Deck, Liquid Swords. The fuck? The Wu-Tang Clan.
Man, they fucking packing katanas or what?
Killer Bees, Hot Nickels.
Collin, are you pulling a bit?
Do you not know the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yo, motherfuckers, it was a joke.
Okay. I just had to get heated there for a second. I apologize.
He just needed to show off that he could name everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Pinoptimist, PINOPTIMIST. Thank you so much for listening to the Tiny Disc Podcast, and we'll see you next Thursday.